Paul Mueller, 55 years old. I've been in the industry since about 16 years old. Started off drilling holes. RPM tool, been in business for about 38 years. Tool and die manufacturing. The company was founded by my father, Russell Mueller. And then after so many years, I bought half the shares of stocks and became partners with him. We had as many as 12 people at one time, employees, approximately 7,500 square feet, based out of Elgin here.
And now how many people are here?
4 of us total.
How was RPM started?
My father, he became partners with a company called Do More Tool. After he worked there so many years, he wanted to move then out of Chicago into the suburb area here, and he decided when he became partners then to take 1/3 of everything. He's a three-way partnership.
Okay.
So then he moved the machines out here and to this very building actually, and then we kept growing and growing from there. We just had one little room at first, and it kept expanding. We had no CNC machines at that time.
All manual stuff.
Started this one, I think it was 1984. Wow, a lot of history here.
And then, so your dad started it, moved out here. Why did you get into manufacturing? What'd you do, and why did you start here, doing something?
Well, basically it was just a job that was available.
Yeah. Yep.
At that young age, After I became partners road there, I got a lot more serious about it and involved with it. Yes, that was quite a journey.
You were like 16 or something when you
started?
started?
Yeah, I was 16 when I started, just drilling holes at a drill press. My father taught me everything he knew, and I even brought it, beyond what he knew then. A lot of expanding, growing over the years, learning.
What are some highlights of your time with the company? Big jobs or an expansion? Or
I think a lot of it was about learning. I know it was exciting to start being able to read prints, visualize these 2-dimensional drawings, and then 3 dimensions.
Like once you started catching on to that.
Right. I know another thing I enjoyed is when we got our first CNC machine.
Oh, yeah.
And I was learning G codes and M codes and everything. That was very exciting. Advancing in that, being able to move all our jobs from the manual machines over to the CNCs now and do them in a fraction of a time. And wow, look at this. This took 16 minutes. Now it takes us 4.
Yeah. Talked about this a little bit initially, but at what point did you become an owner?
It's about 12, 13 years ago now. We actually expanded by buying out one of our customers, actually. He was ready to retire, and he gave us an offer we couldn't refuse. So we bought him out, and then we were running this business and the other business that we bought out in Chicago. And eventually we brought those 2 businesses under one roof here now.
That's why you moved them here?
Yeah, so we moved a lot more equipment and everything, expanded more, gained more customers. Yeah, that was a good point.
So when you bought the other customer out and grew the business like that, that's when you became a part owner?
Yeah, exactly.
So you were already here for like 10 years at that point?
Yeah.
So maybe like in your mid-30s?
Yeah,
somewhere around
exactly. About my mid-30s.
And then, so now up until that point, you and your dad had been running the company, right?
Correct.
So then running the company with your dad up until a few years ago, when you started looking to sell recently, what were the reasons that you started looking to sell?
Well, my father passed away, and we were partners over all those years, so a little harder all of a sudden, and we were at a point where one of our main customers went into inventory for 3 months. They didn't want to buy any more. They stocked their shelves. They had so much inventory.
Let that stop ringing. Or is it important? Probably important. Yeah, it'll get cut out. Edit. cut.
Right, yeah, business was slow at that time after my father passed away, and then we really didn't have the capital to hire a secretary, because I really needed a secretary now, because now all this office work and paperwork just doubled on my shoulders. And meanwhile, I'm trying to be out in the shop, and I'm getting split, in 3 different directions all the time, doing work at home and the paperwork, and then coronavirus hit, drove us down even though we had the PPP loan. It was just enough to keep you going there.
So did you start downsizing how many people you had too?
Yes, and then I had to start downsizing right away. I had to sell some machinery. I had to lay off like 3 guys, and I had to reduce the amount of space that we're renting in the building. We cut bills every way we possibly could to survive, and it's just too much for one person.
Yeah. Well, you and your dad were a team.
Right.
So, yeah.
So that was it. I said, I'm getting older too, and it's rough on me. So I said, that's it. Let's just sell the business.
So then, what was your experience when you first started looking to sell? Like, what are some things that people you talked to, or like, how did you go about that? Because other people are out there and they're going to be looking to sell. They might think along the same lines. Did you call someone or go online or? Yeah,
first I contacted a few existing customers that did similar work. To see if that to incorporate our business with theirs. And then after that, it was a long list of looking in the Illinois Manufacturing Directory Guide of people that were in the area and businesses that were approximately our size that would fit together, make a good fit.
And just so calling them up.
Cold calls.
Can I talk to the owner or something like that?
Right, exactly. Yeah, that was the first thing. I just say, can I talk to the owner?
So you talked with customers, you talked with other companies. Did you look for a broker? I thought you were talking about doing that at one point.
I considered a broker at one time, and then, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I do, it was about 20% that they take. It's not like when you buy a house, 6 or 8% or something like that. It's like 20%. So it was too much, We had a small business. There wasn't room for a broker.
Yeah.
So it had to be sold by owner. It was a little bit of learning process there too. Evaluate and see what the value of all the machines are, and the value of the customers, inventory.
So if we back up a little bit before you were thinking of selling, like a year or two before we met, what were your plans for the company? What were your thoughts for like the future? Or were you more so concerned with just maintaining what was going? It was going well, right?
Right, yeah.
So was that more of the idea?
Right, because it was just a couple of years since my father passed, and after he passed, I had the mentality, I'm going to use his energy inside me, and I'm going to go out there and, I'm going to turn this place around. And, the coronavirus started coming, and I sent out stack of letters, at least
flyers and sales
literally that tall. After all that, I said I didn't get one reply, and I even follow up on them. Wow, and Corona's coming right at that time. It just really killed everything. Even people that might have been able to give us work, they were
already
too.
slow.
Right, a lot of businesses I'm calling, they're gone already. Now they're out of business because of the coronavirus. It's like,
took the wind right out of sales.
Yeah, yes it did.
So then you decided to start looking to sell the business. I want to talk about the day that we met, the first time. So what was going through your mind the first time we talked on the phone, which was right when I was outside the door, and then I came inside and we talked. So what were some thoughts? Like when you first answered the phone, what the heck is this person calling about? Is this another sales call? Or, what was, and then...
It was like a miracle, As I'm going through all these phone calls, all these people trying to sell it, find just the right person, the right fit. Like I said, some people were too big and they didn't want us. We're too small, And, I just sat there on my phone, said a little prayer, and I said, man, who am I going to call now? And all of a sudden the phone rang.
Really? The same day?
No joke. I'm talking within 5 minutes. I mean, I just said a prayer. And
I never knew that.
God, help me out. And all of a sudden you called and you're asking like for the landlord or something. You know, you probably weren't aware.
I think, the business owner or something. Yeah.
And that was funny.
Wow.
You're like, yeah, I'm looking to buy out businesses. And I said, really? I said, where are you at? And you said, I'm outside.
Outside? I don't know how to get in.
I was like, well, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something. And then you just happen to have one of the tools that we invented at your shop. And,
something that like my uncle, I think, bought from you like 20 years ago, you know.
And then what a coincidence that my father and your grandfather worked together to do more tools.
Back in like the 60s or
back
70s
in Chicago,
or something.
yeah. So it was like, wow, it's just one coincidence after the next. And it gives me chills just thinking about it today.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I remember you letting me in, and we came into the office here, right in this door.
Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit, and you were like, that's when you were like, wait, what's your grandpa's name? And you know, I texted my dad then, and I was like, hey, do you know Paul? And he's like, oh yeah, I know Paul. What was going through your mind afterwards?
Fear now, a little bit of fear, nervousness, a billion details to think about, work out.
Yeah.
I hadn't really known you that well yet.
We had no idea. Yeah, I mean, 5 minutes.
It was a 5 minute. Us,
yeah.
You know, realized that the other one wasn't. Neither one of us were BSing.
Yeah.
We were dead serious.
Right.
You know.
But it takes time to figure that out, right?
Right. Yeah. And gain a little trust there and that.
Over the next like few weeks, what were some like
concerns?
Concerns.
That was mainly, like I said, just figuring things out step by step to double check the value of everything, customers, attorneys, contracts, and there was a lot of talking to the accountants and
attorneys. And,
right. A lot of meetings. Everything fell in place really nice and simple though, you know, one step at a time.
It seemed like whenever we talked about stuff, we would come to a good understanding, but as soon as we put it in the attorney's hands, like, okay, ball's in their court, they would just get into a bird's nest of arguments, and it was just like, it was frustrating. That was from my end, because I was like, if they were having a problem with something, I would drive out here and me and you would figure it out. You know, it's like, what's a lesson that you learned from our deal together in negotiations that might help other owners who are in your position?
First thing that popped in was there is honest people out there. There are good people out there, you know, that they're not after to ruin you or throw you in a bucket or toss you on the side, you know. Like,
to hit on that, like, it's a two-way street, you know, so it's like, when I'm out there looking to talk with people, if you get that feeling from someone that there's not going to be trust in that relationship, don't even do anything. It's not even worth working together.
So that's very important.
It has to be mutual.
Feel comfortable with that person, you know, gut feeling, you know, that you're going to be working with, doing business with, feel, you know, certain level.
And build it over time, test each other a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the point too. The question was, what's a lesson that you've learned from our deal together that might help other owners who are in your position?
It's not the end of the world to sell the business. It's not as hard. You know, just take it step by step. Everything will be fine. It'll work out. Come to an agreement. Again, if you don't feel comfortable, back away right away. You know, get out of it.
Yeah.
You know, try to get what you feel it's worth. I know a lot of people think their businesses, because they've been in it for so many years, oh, it's worth, you know, $5 million. And then they do an assessment or something, get the machines, and you know, find out they're only worth $1 million or something.
Right.
That could be discouraging. You know, a lot of family business owners, you know, feel that way. Yeah, the realistic side of things. Figure out what the real value is and everything. Feel comfortable. You know, don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid to do it, though. You know, that's the thing. Yeah, don't be afraid. Do what you want to do. Feel comfortable with who you're making a deal with.
After closing the deal and now working together for like 5 or 6 months, are there any like significant changes in work life or personal life, or like what's it like now not having the roles that you used to have by trying to fill both positions?
That's
good and bad.
Right. Yeah. Some points I said, oh, maybe we're sold, but...
so, like, on those points, what are some of the negative sides of it?
Well, I just think to myself, oh, maybe I could have still gotten it going, or After the coronavirus, now it's starting to see more work. Yeah, right. But I feel good about what I did, and even my home life with my wife and everything is a lot less stressful. She's noticed it, I'm not getting upset and angry at home as much. I'd have to go home every Tuesday or Wednesday after work and do a payroll, and then every Sunday, first thing I'd wake up and do about 3 to 4 hours of paperwork, invoicing, billing, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So now your role in the company, working together, is what do you do now versus what you used to do?
I work 8 hours a day.
And you manage the shop stuff, basically, right? That you're running the shop as opposed to running the books and the shop, which we're doing both.
I like that.
Yeah.
That I'm in that position now to be a shop foreman and still be in charge, but yet not have all the responsibilities now and the stress.
Yeah.
The stress has been relieved, so let's go on more vacation.
Yeah. You gotta go.
Right.
You gotta do it.
We gotta go to Hawaii. I gotta bring my wife to Hawaii.
I think something that I think about is like building the employee ownership model. A lot of owners are concerned about employees being owners of the company, and they feel like they're losing control or whatever. And the way I look at it is a smaller piece of a bigger pie is still a bigger piece of pie.
Yeah,
Right, and it's kind of like when you talk about you were running the shop stuff and the office stuff after your dad passed away. By working together, we have a similar relationship now. And as we're building the employee ownership, the goal is that you would be an owner again too. So it's kind of like, and it's possible that by building a bigger team will actually be bigger than one person would be able to do by themselves.
Yeah. I also think about if I had a son, he'd be your age, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because my dad's 5. He just turned 55. Same age. So is there anything else that you want to add to the interview that you thought about or you didn't think about?
No, other than I'm happy the way things went, and I'm much better. I feel much better inside, and I'm enjoying life more.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's a good thing. Everything up here together, or you're making all these great plans. I'm helping you with them. I like to think.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a team effort,
exciting. Still here, get to see it grow and everything.
Yeah.
I'm already seeing improvements since you've been here.
I did do some sweeping and stuff. I did some organization and some mopping.
I saw a clean spot over there.
I did clean a couple areas.
No, you got a lot more systems in place and organization. So you have to do, though. You have to keep going that way.
Moving paper files over to digital.
Yeah, scanning everything. And you brought that fresh new blood there, the new thoughts, technology-wise, and that I don't have experience with. So that helped a lot, too. Nothing to think about right now.
Appreciate your time, and I like being able to talk about it. And I heard a little bit new story that I hadn't heard before. I didn't know that you said prayer before I called. That's pretty crazy.
Too many coincidences.
Yeah.
It gives me chills, really. Wow. Did you mention we're going to get burritos for lunch?
Taco Tuesday.
It's on camera.
Tacos. Taco Loco.